topic for today will be our favorite credit sequences. So together we'll be going through our top 10 credit sequences from video games. So I've tasked Matt to come in with us today with 5 credit sequences from different games, and I have done the same. And we'll be going through each and every one and discussing why exactly they're our favorites.
Who knew that that scrolling text of developers' names could be so
fun,
engaging and enlightening? Yes. But I mean, here we are. Do you want to start us off, Oliver? Because I started off last time. So
you started last time, so I'll do my first one. But yeah, basically there was no real criteria. Basically, just any scene from the end of the game that has credits in it, I think counts. So
hell yeah, which is most games, just most video games. So
much.
We had a pretty wide breadth of video gaming to choose from. But yeah, I'm just to see what your first pick is, Oliver.
All right, you excited for my number one
so
pick?
Excited.
All right.
Yes, credit sequence number 1.
So my sequence number 1 comes from a little game called Mario Kart DS. Now you're laughing, but I love this credit sequence. So first of all, if you bring it up, it's such a vibe. Like it's kind of emotional.
It's vibe-alicious.
Yeah, like the credits, they just start with a black screen and just play a few notes, and then the song like builds up with this like smooth jazz almost music.
This is delightful.
Like you know what I'm talking about. You played this.
This is OG.
You finished. And then like all the credits is this Mario driving off into the sunset, which plays on the top of the screen, and then there's credits rolling on the bottom. And
mate, this is the precursor to Ryan Gosling's Drive. I mean, look at him. He's just channeling Ryan Gosling in this moment.
Yeah, just play the Drive soundtrack over this.
Real. I love this. This is like... what a moment. What a moment.
And like I can't stress how just like it's so melancholy. And I don't know, like all the other races, they drive past you, and
I know. I'm just looking. Donkey Kong's driving past, and he's doing this funny motion.
And it makes you just reflect on the game. It makes you reflect on your life choices.
I know. On the journey that we've had.
How did I get here? Like, why am I playing this game? And like even Mario's reflecting. He's just like staring off into the distance.
He's like, wow, how many Mario Kart games have we done? This is great.
This is Mario Kart 6.
Mario Kart 6.
And like it does, like in a way, it does feel like an end of an era, even though there'll be like more Mario Kart games after this. It's like almost they're saying goodbye. Like obviously they're saying goodbye because you finished the game, but it's like goodbye, like sort of old Nintendo. We're bringing in the modern era. The Wii's not out yet. The Wii's about to come out. This is it. This is the end. And there's
very philosophical with this.
I know.
Sequence.
And there's a beautiful moment at the end where like Mario and Peach, they drive together, and that's how it finishes. And like that's the most romantic tension I think they've ever had.
I love this, man. Like I love this pick. I think if they were gonna finish the Mario Kart series for once, I think they should recreate this. This credit sequence.
Driving into the sunset.
But
it's like an old
they
western.
All stop, and then they all like meet up together. It's like the ending of a Fast and Furious movie. They all just like park up together, and they get out of the cars, and then it cuts to black.
Yeah, and Donkey Kong's Paul Walker, and he drives off. He splits off from the rest. Goodbye, Donkey Kong.
DS MIDI track of Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth. See you again.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. Mario Kart 9, make it happen. But
great pick, man.
Thank you. This is one that, like, every time it played, I was like, wow. I'll go existential as a kid.
Yeah, no, mate, like, I like, again, like, the imagery of Mario driving across the sunset is just like, it's
like an old western where, you ride off into the sunset. It's a perfect
it's like the ending of Indiana Jones 3.
Yeah, yes, true. It is. Yeah. I've had to remember which one that was.
Nice credit sequence, man. Excellent.
Thank you, Matt. What's
you get a
your
gold
favorites?
star.
Awesome.
Look,
one gold star.
Yes. My favorite. This isn't in any order as well. I've just picked 5 credit sequences that I think are interesting. But I think the best credit sequences are the ones where you get to watch it as many times as you like, right? Because you want to see how many people have worked on this game, and you want to just check in on them and see if they're still there, still on the credit sequence. So for my number one pick,
what does that mean? Okay.
You'll see. So for my number one pick of a credit sequence in video game goes to South Park: The Fractured Butthole, which was a classic RPG released in 2017, I believe, on all the major platforms. This is the sequel to South Park: The Stick of Truth, and so yes, as probably has the best title of a video game ever. But so this credit sequence in South Park: The Fractured Butthole occurs whenever you die. So we'll just skip to 30 seconds in the video. So whenever you die, the credits of the game begin playing as if it's a real South Park episode.
Yeah.
So you can watch the entire credits as many times as you want. All you have to do is suck at the game and die in the game. So
do you have to skip them? You have to press skip every time you want to.
Yeah. So when you press square to return to the last checkpoint, the credits reverse back up again, and you respawn.
That sounds so annoying.
Every single time you die, the credits appear.
Yeah, that sounds like an old NES game where they really punished you for dying. You had to go back to the start of the game. Like that's what this sort of feels like, but it punishes you in a different way.
I just think it's funny that and it mimics the South Park episodes as well, where it's as soon as a big ending thing happens, i.e. you die in this game, the credits of the game just begin scrolling.
That's really funny.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my credit sequence pick number one. It's not as philosophical, but
no, I think it is. Does this play at the very end of the game as well?
Yeah, it does. It's just the same credit sequence.
It's the same. Oh, cool.
So if you really suck at the game, you can watch this as many times as you like.
Or if you don't, if you're really good, you only see them once. So
that's true.
Good motivation.
The ball is in your court, viewer and player of the Fractured Butthole.
Butthole. That's such a good name. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for that end credit sequence. My second end credit sequence. I didn't mean to do this. They're all Nintendo ones, so it's spoilers.
Mate. What else do we talk
representative
about?
of the games I play.
Series?
Yeah. I did try to. I was like, are there any others? So I'm like, nah, these are my favorites. So number two, my second favorite. It's about 30 years old now.
That's okay. We're going retro now.
Not 30. It's like 20, 25. Okay. Yeah, 25 years old. But it is the Smash Melee credits.
Amazing choice. Amazing choice.
I really wanted to have a Smash game on here. I immediately thought of Smash Ultimate, where you just beat up the credits, where you just punch everyone's names.
You punch them.
But I was like, wait, Melee, where you get to shoot the credits. You get to blast them in space, which is awesome. Which is a really cool backdrop.
I remember beating classic mode on this and having the credits fly by, and I was like, there's more game.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a little game within the game. And there's a scoreboard as well. There's a max score of 190, which no one, well, I'll talk about it, but barely anyone has gotten.
You're a real epic gamer.
You can replay the credits if you want to just play this fun little archaic shooter. And you get it if you beat Adventure, Classic, or All-Star modes. But yeah, it's so cool. But yeah, speaking of the high score, so this is the fun little fact I found. No one had gotten the max score of 190 until 2021.
Late.
Yeah, so Nathaniel Bandy, he's a Mario Kart YouTuber mainly.
I know.
He put out a $3,000 bounty to anyone who can get 190 points. And then a guy by the name of Martin Zarati, I think is how you say his name, managed to do it. I think that was in February 2021, and so he won the $3,000, which is cool.
Martin.
I think he's the only person to do it ever, which is insane. I didn't realize how hard it was.
Again, there's a lot of credits. There's a lot of people worked on this game.
And they've gone very quickly. Yeah, you're
exactly.
Right. And it took him 50 hours to do it as well, apparently.
Good going, Martin.
So it's literally a game within a game. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, so cool. It's like Star Fox, and it plays the Mario theme, like a sort of a remix of the Mario Overworld. It's cool.
Why did you choose Melee over Ultimate or Brawl?
Well, I think Brawls are just sort of scrolling credits, and then Ultimates are kind of cool, but not this cool. Look how this is the most 2000s thing ever. It's very Star Fox.
It's like a whole genre shift of the game. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Yeah, I love Melee. I know Sakurai, like, he makes new Smash Bros. Games, but I just want a remaster.
They've never ported or remastered a Smash game before.
Yeah.
Except 64, that was on Wii. That's it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's the only one that's been ported. So I'd love a port of
Switch
any of these.
Online, maybe? Anyway.
Matt, what's your credit sequence number 3? No, number 2.
Morty from Rick and Morty. My credit sequence number 2, I'm continuing with the Nintendo theme here.
Yay. Don't take my pick.
I did some research again. I went on the internet again and I searched up best credit sequences in video games. Okay, and I found this one, which is WarioWare Smooth Moves, which is a Nintendo Wii title in the WarioWare series, where you play various different micro games. And in this one, this is probably the first ever credit sequence where you get to murder the employees of Nintendo, which is lovely.
I'm watching it now.
This, the credit sequence, it's a micro game where you open up a sub-dimensional portal and drop Mii representations of the WarioWare Smooth Moves development team through it as they walk on stage. And so the aim of the game, similar to Smash Melee actually, is to kill all of the developers. So that's cool. And so they walk on stage and then they fall into this subspace. And never to be heard from again.
Oh, God.
They go back into the Nintendo basement.
I'm looking at them now. At least, like, I've not heard of these guys, so maybe they have just vanished forever. Thankfully, it's not Miyamoto. Yeah, or like Sakurai.
Imagine at the very end, it's like Miyamoto or Reggie or Iwata come in.
I'm trying to skip through and see if like Iwata's there, but hopefully not.
But I love that.
Oh no, he's at the end.
Yeah. So the thing I love about this credit sequence is that, I mean, firstly, all the developers have their own unique Miis, but they all have unique outfits on. You know, they all have unique clothing on. And then again,
digging deep, analyzing the clothes.
There's an interactivity aspect of this as well. Like, you know, it's WarioWare Smooth Moves is all about micro games that involve the Wii remote. So it's like small bite-sized, like point and click games like this. And so we're continuing with that fashion here. So yes. And I wish I could move like some of these Miis do in this credit sequence. Some of them are they're so flamboyant and sort of wiggly, which I love.
This isn't realistic though. This person here, the video we're watching here, is completely realistic Miis. Like I had Batman and Iron Man and the rabbits. Like where's your weird Miis, dude?
I tried to make a Sonic Mii once. It didn't go too well.
By yourself?
By myself.
Oh no! Rough. Yeah.
It was a rough life.
Don't do that.
In the Robertson household, but
just a demented Sonic.
Yeah, demented Sonic.
Do you still have it?
It had grey hair because you couldn't have blue.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
There you go.
He had the blue glasses. I remember I had a Sonic, but I downloaded it. Or I copied Sonic, I think.
You took the easy route. I was a creator, man. I was a trendsetter.
Dude.
But yeah, WarioWare Smooth Moves. I love this credit sequence. And I think it deserves to be in the pantheon of great gaming credits sequences.
Yes. Okay. So that means it's time for me. My number 3.
Oliver's up to bat again.
My third. Mine aren't really in any order. Well, kind of. My last is my favorite, but this is up there. I think the best credit sequences are the ones where you get to like play them. And
of course.
Like we're just talking about Melee and WarioWare. So this one is Splatoon 3's credits, which is a pretty contemporary recent one.
Mate, you're really on a Splatoon kick this week. You've just been on that, lad.
Kinda. Oh, I just got Big Man, the amiibo. Look at him.
Oh no! Oh, that's cool. Look,
it's so big.
Like it's a stingray.
JB Hi-Fi had one box of Splatoon 3 amiibos left, and I was like, I should get these. Anyway, back to the credits. I wanted to put a Splatoon game down because I love all 3 credit sequences from the games. And like similarly to like Mario Kart DS, like all of these credit sequences from like all 3 Splatoon games, they have really great music. And they're equally like reflective and beautiful, I think. Yeah. Makes you like think back on your little adventure.
So stylized, so pretty. Like all the different names have different fonts. Like, are you kidding me? That's so creative.
Like I chose Splatoon 3's in particular because I think it's got the best song of the whole trilogy, and this is like the end of a trilogy in the way. So the music, it is very like melancholy and reflective. Also, because why I love these is that the fact it takes place in space, because the final boss of the game takes place in space. You fight a giant teddy bear on a rocket ship, which is awesome.
It's an intergalactic credit sequence.
Yes,
That's
and
awesome.
Splatoon 1 and 2's credit sequences, they didn't take place anywhere. They was just like sort of a screen with the employees' names. You get to shoot them. That's how they were interactive. Like you paint the names. But this, you don't get to shoot the names, but you get to still shoot paint. And like it makes the backdrop of the credits, which is really cool.
Oh, that's sick.
So you like shoot paint off into space, and it just sort of forms and floats around in blobs. It looks really pretty.
It's like a lava lamp.
Yeah, kinda. And like there's a cool little section where the paint it forms. So each Splatoon game has different colors. So like Splatoon 1 and 2, the colors were orange and blue, and then Splatoon 2's was like pink and green, and it goes from orange and blue to pink and green to Splatoon 3's. It goes to yellow and purple. Like each game is sort of represented here, because again, it's like the end of a trilogy.
Yeah, and again, it's differentiating it. You know, like
it's really cool.
This is cool. I love. This is such a minor thing, but I love how the names that are scrolling up the screen, they're sort of on a slant a little bit, so it's like the Earth's orbit, you know.
And they're all like graffiti.
Orbiting,
They have that sort of graffiti aesthetic.
That's awesome. I love this, man. This is good pickings, mate.
So
Splatoon you're doing
3.
well.
Thank you.
I wonder what they're going to do for
that's my
Splatoon 4. That'll be a credit sequence and a half if that happens.
But yes, that was mine. What's your next one, Matt?
Well, my number 3. Okay, this one has another explanation. I like explaining mine.
Yeah, go ahead.
I love the Batman Arkham series, as you know. And one cool thing that I didn't know is that in Batman Arkham City, there are actually 2 endings of the game. So, basically, I know it's crazy. It's a bombshell moment. So basically, in the game, you can play as Catwoman in certain areas of the game. And if you make a certain choice at the end of the game to not help Batman in the climax and instead escape with the money, you can actually trigger the end of the game early. So this is before the finale of the game, before the big finish. You can actually, by abandoning Batman in his time of need, you can trigger the credits of the game about 2 hours before the game's supposed to end.
Is this on purpose?
This is on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Rocksteady Studios, they purposefully put this in.
That's really cool.
And the credits of the game actually occur early. However, about a minute or so into the credits, we get a really chilling voice note audio clip of Barbara Gordon, Oracle, basically talking about how because you ended the game early, Joker has won and Gotham is in shambles and stuff.
Oh no.
And so it's so chilling and it's so freaky, and I absolutely love that this is a part of the game. So the credit sequence itself is pretty standard. It's just the same credits as the regular game. However, like the circumstances to creating the credit sequence and also how it sort of
and the noise
augmented and it augments slightly. That's so inventive. And then as the credits fade to black in the end, the game reverses way back and you go back to that choice that Catwoman can make it whether to help Batman or not. So I think, look, it's not, you can't shoot the credits, you can't drop Mies through holes, you can't spray paint all over the world.
I want to paint him.
You can kill Batman.
I can kill Batman, yes. No, that's really cool.
I don't know.
Like,
I think
the audio is really creepy. Like, I think that's like what makes a great credit sequence for me is music. But here, like, it's more the sounds and the dialogue you get. That's really cool.
It's so unsettling, and as a child, when I was playing this game as a wee boy, this part of the game absolutely freaked me out. I didn't realize you could do this.
This wasn't on Wii.
It was on Wii U, actually.
Sorry, you're right.
Good, sir. I'm a fact check you right there.
I forget.
But yeah, it was so freaky to play this bit without knowing that it actually existed. That the whole second ending of Batman Arkham City existed.
What's the actual credits? Is it the same credits with different sounds?
It's the exact same credit sequence with different sounds. Yeah.
And so what happens after you beat this? After you get these credits, can you still
after you get these
continue
credits,
the game?
It rewinds back to Catwoman's choice.
Yeah.
So you can actually make the right decision and finish the game. But again, they didn't have to do this. You know, Rocksteady Studio, they didn't have to like do this sort of augmented, twisted version, and it's only available if you like bought the Catwoman expansion, which came with the game on launch, but you had to buy it afterwards. So yeah, it's pretty neat there. But that's my number 3 credit sequence in games. Batman Arkham City
Sigma.
alternate ending. That's so Sigma.
Ohio.
It's totally not Skibbity.
Thank you, man.
The Skibbity Riz TikTok.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
This.
Only I can do it.
On to number 4 of you.
On to number 4. My number 4. I think if you ask a lot of people, like at their childhood, like most memorable credit sequences, I think a lot of them will say Mario Galaxy. Because absolutely. My God, like Mario Galaxy, what an amazing game, and like anyone who grew up with this game has such great memories of it, and like especially I think the credits are a part of that. And like
I remember this. Yeah,
it's probably on here for me just simply out of nostalgia. But
no, it's an excellent credit sequence, man. It's not just nostalgia, honestly.
Yeah,
like I remember playing this as a kid.
But yeah, like I do think it's one of the most iconic sort of sequences in like just gaming history. Because they're not like extraordinary in any way, but like I think what really sells them is the music here. Because like you can't deny Mario Galaxy has probably one of the greatest Nintendo soundtracks ever, one of the greatest gaming soundtracks ever. And so and obviously like the music here is just insane. It plays songs from like all throughout the game from different levels. You get like Gusty Garden Galaxy and all your favorites.
It really takes you on a journey of like retrospection of what you've gone through.
Yeah, and because all the songs, they're more like orchestral and like triumphant. They're done in a different, more powerful way. And I love it. And like the credits themselves, they're very simple. It's just text scrolling with like pictures of characters and like areas of the game. But like again, we're talking about just like reflecting on the game, like with Splatoon and Deep Mario Kart. Like I think this does the same. It gets you to look back on your life,
and it really makes you feel a sense of accomplishment. You know, right? It's the music that's playing is so triumphant and sort of powerful, and so it's really saying like you triumphed over Bowser, you beat the game. It's excellent.
And it really helps that it's just like the credits for one of the best games ever, and I think that's why we love it so much. Well, like
I want a vinyl release of that soundtrack, Nintendo. I know you've got it on Nintendo Music, but I want it on vinyl, damn it. And I believe that the Mario Galaxy ending credits comes with a post-credit scene as well.
It does, yeah. You see Rosalina do something. What does she do?
She's just happy. She's content
just like
that the galaxy is saved.
Yeah, she goes back to her little house and.
I'm
just looking at it now. She flies. Oh no, she leaves. That's right. She leaves the galaxy in the space observatory.
What a game!
Oh man, I'm getting flashbacks just watching this. I can't. I'm gonna cry.
Play this game again, man.
I'm gonna cry.
When are you gonna cry? Sorry, no.
Shut up.
Great pick. No, great pick, man. I think that's I think if one Mario game was going to be on this list, it would be Mario Galaxy.
Yes, Matt. What is your number 5? Is this your favorite?
This is my number 4, actually.
Oh, sorry, your number 4. Excuse me. What is your 4th credit sequence?
My number 4th. So I did some more research here. This one is it's kind of an unknown game, actually. It's called
Snake
Vanquish.
Pass. Oh.
No, Snake. No, I did look at the credit sequence for Snake Pass, but
it's not good enough for you. I hope
it wasn't as good.
It's
as
your number
Vanquish.
5, surely. Vanquish. All right.
This is a 2010 multi-platform game by Shinji Mikami of Platinum Games, I believe. They did like the Bayonetta series and Metal Gear Rising and that type of thing. And so this is a third-person shooter on the whole. However, similar to sort of Smash Melee, this game concludes with a first-person on-rails shooter segment where all the developers are on asteroids, and you have to shoot the asteroids as you near closer and closer to Earth. But the thing I love about this credit sequence is that they actually got photos of the developers on the asteroids themselves. So you can actually see, their faces. You can put a face to the name, and then once you shoot the members of each member of the development team, you actually see what role they worked on in the game. So you get a little reward for shooting the names.
That's awesome. So it's not just like points; you're actually getting info.
Yeah, you actually
from
information.
This credit
and
sequence.
of course, the final big asteroid is Shinji Mikami, the creator of the game, the main creator of the game, and he takes like 15 hits to kill or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Because he is a big formidable boss. So yeah, I hadn't heard of Vanquish before. I'm aware of Platinum Games and some of their other releases, but I thought this was such an inventive credit sequence in this game. And like, yeah, again, it brings importance to the developers, which is what a credit sequence should do. You know, it puts a face to the name. It congratulates them and celebrates the work they did on the game. You know, I think it is. I think it's pretty cool. To say the least.
Yeah, I love putting a face to the developers. And it reminds me of Doom Eternal's credits, which I actually forgot about until now. They have all the pictures of the devs.
That's cool.
During the credits, and like them at events and like behind the scenes of the game. So this reminds me of that. And I love how here all the pictures of the devs, like some of them are just really being silly. Like there's a guy holding a coffee and like someone screaming. They're
having a bit of fun, yeah.
I know.
A lot of them, but then a lot of them they're just at their desk, just working. And I bet you some guy came around with like a phone camera, and it's like, "Hey, can we take a photo with the credits?" Like, what? Okay, all right, here we go.
And then I love how you have to blow them up. You have to shoot them. Reminds me of Smash as well. You just got to kill all the credits.
You got to explode them.
Explode them. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, Vanquish 2010. I might actually play this game now since the credit sequence is so cool.
That's cool. And so let's move on to our very last credit sequence. So we'll start with my
Your very last credit sequence. I've still got one left.
You've got one, yes. Together, our last two. So is your last...
effort.
Is this your favorite, would you say, your last one?
Yeah, we'll get to number 5. We'll get to number 5.
So my number 5, it's a Zelda one. I had to put a Zelda game here.
Of course you did. No, you did, of course.
Because I was going to put 2 Zelda games on here, but I was like, I can't. So I was
you gotta
tossing
do one
up...
per franchise. Yeah, I think this is good.
I was tossing up between Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess for similar reasons. But ultimately, I went with Twilight Princess. This is my all-time favorite credits of all time. Like, I can just watch this on its own and be just filled with emotion.
Beautiful.
And you may ask, why this one? But I think
everyone's asking that. Everyone's like, Oliver, what are you doing?
Why have I picked this one? I think the best credits are the ones that like take you through the journey you've been on. So like they show you all the places you've been, all the characters you've met. Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess both do this, and I think Twilight Princess does it just a little bit better. And so yeah, here you get to see all the places like you visited along the way, all the characters you've met. You see the Gorons, you see the Zora, like just the random fisherman you meet just along the way along a river. You see him like meeting up with, I think it's his brother as well, who's like somewhere else, and you see them reconnect.
That's so good.
And
so wholesome.
Yeah, and like these Snow Peak ruins, you see the outside of the ruins, and then like a little heart appears just above the house where, because in the game you reunite like Yeto and Yetta together, and so you get a bit of like narrative in these credits too, like especially with the kids characters. You see them like saying goodbye to everyone in Kakariko, and then like throughout the credits you see their journey back to Ordon Village.
Mate, Twilight Princess is so underrated. Everyone sleeps on that game.
It's my favorite Zelda game, I think. Yeah.
It's excellent. And I tell you what, the fact that you've put the Twilight Princess HD credits on here is great, because an Australian studio worked on Twilight Princess HD.
I did not know that.
So you got a little bit of Aussie representation on this list. So
I just did that because my eyes can't stand the GameCube. Hurts my eyes. I got it.
I hate the game. I hate the design of the bloody handle.
No, it's fine. But yeah, they look pretty in HD. And then like there's like a mid-credit scene where you say goodbye to Midna, and then the credits continue afterwards.
That's cool. That's
and then
awesome.
like after Midna leaves, the credits are now like they're so quiet and beautiful. And I think this has your best rendition of like the Hyrule Field theme from the game. You get to hear that theme. I think it's just the best version of it. And this is the only time in the game where you hear the main Zelda theme.
Really?
Yeah, you hear it. There's a scene where the Gorons are like beating each other up. It's at 5 minutes if you want to skip to it.
I'll skip to it now.
Yeah, just have a
that's
listen.
Great.
Oh, it's beautiful. And like, yeah, that's the only time in the
Those
game you hear the
trumpets.
main Zelda theme. I think Tears of the Kingdom's the same in Breath of the Wild. You only hear the main theme in the credits.
I
Which
love
is
that.
just a cool reference. And at the
Man,
very end, you see, what's her name? Ilia. She's waiting in Ordon Village, and then you see Link riding his horse. He's like returning home. And that's the perfect riding back to his homestead.
I love that.
Retire.
It's very similar to Ocarina of Time, the ending of
Yeah.
that game where he returns to the castle. Oh, man, but like, yeah, I think it's so much more sort of adventurous. I need to play Twilight Princess again.
I know, watching this, I'm like, oh, damn, I need to go back, bring up dust
Get
off
on
the
that.
Wii U. Yeah.
That's it. Great. I think your credit sequences are fabulous.
They're all very similar. They're all like very emotional, I think.
Mate, that's what it... Look, a credit sequence should celebrate your completion of the game, you know?
Celebrate your completion.
And
I
this...
agree.
Okay, you know what? This last credit sequence that I've got is... I wanted to sort of flip the script a little bit.
Ooh.
Because this is how not to do a credit sequence in a video game.
Oh,
So this is my
whoa.
top
Goodness.
5 credit sequence.
What's he
I've
done
got
here?
one here.
Messing with
And-
the formula.
Like if you, I know, I went behind your back. I Zuckerberged you, as it were.
You donkey.
And that. What are you, Gordon Ramsay?
You
Anyway, so my last pick for credit sequence in video games. I don't know if this is the best credit sequence in video games, but because you bring up Zelda, I of course have to bring up Sonic, and here we are with Sonic.
No! What have we
Sonic
done?
Colors Ultimate.
Oh.
So this is a remaster, air quotes, big air quotes in the video. Can you just put air quotes in this bit?
No.
Remaster. Okay.
No, I will not.
Okay. All right then. Then this joke fell flat.
I refuse.
It's a remaster of Sonic Colors, the classic Wii game. Okay, so what's wrong with this credit sequence? Oh, actually, no, let's talk about what's right with this
What's wrong
credit
with
sequence
you?
first. What this credit sequence gets right is that it is playable and you can homing attack the names of the developers.
Yeah, I
That
see
is
no
cool.
faults yet. That looks pretty cool.
However, what makes this an awful credit sequence is, do you want to check how long this credit sequence is, Oliver?
Oh yeah.
It's
it's
29
nearly half an
minutes
hour.
long. It is a
Why?
half an hour long credit sequence.
Why
And
is it
this
so long?
this is not the fault of the developers of the original Sonic Colors game. This is
Okay.
down to the developers of Sonic Colors Ultimate, because what they did is they included the original credits from Sonic Colors, which was already about 7 or 8 minutes. And then
Yeah.
right after that, they just added on the developers of Sonic Colors Ultimate onto that with no sort of amendments or additions. So what you're doing is you are running on a space. You can't really do anything, and you're watching credits scroll by for half an hour. And this includes every single development team, every single subsection of Sega across the world in this credit sequence. So you will see Sega Australia, you will see Sega Japan, you'll see Sega America, you'll see every single subsection of Sega on this credit sequence. And what makes it worse, what adds a nail in the coffin, is that the music, they only added, they didn't add any extra music to the credit sequence. So after about 16 minutes or so, or however long it is just silence. There's no added music to the credit sequence in Sonic Colors Ultimate. You are literally just walking in space with no music. It's just what is this? But you want to know what the worst part of this credit sequence is, Oliver? Do you want to know why I wanted to put this on this list?
I couldn't imagine what's worse than that, but go on.
You can't skip the credits.
That's true. Oh god. Good
So
God,
you
gosh.
have to wait. You literally have to sit down and wait for 29 minutes of this game, and for this credit to go by. And for the record, the game is 3 hours long.
Oh, okay. So this is like an extra sixth of the game. It's just the credits.
Yeah, it's a sixth. Yeah, it was just credits.
Just credits.
And so for that reason, I wanted to include, because sometimes a credit sequence is so bad that it's actually amazing. And therefore, I have put Sonic Colors Ultimate as my number 5 pick for the best credit sequences in games. It's certainly the longest credit sequence on this list at 29 minutes. So, boom, ratio, quote, tweet, send it out.
Sonic.
That Sonic. Nice.
Yeah, like I'm all for crediting your devs and all that, but this is ridiculous. So wait, this is the Sonic Colors because it's a remake. They just added.
Yeah, so it's Sonic Colors Ultimate, and so it is Ultimate in the way that it is double the length.
Right. Because like I know a lot of like sort of remakes, they just chuck the two sort of credits together. I remember like Epic Mickey, they had the original credits and then the credits for the remake, or the other way around. Like they just
but look, man, at least you can
they're
skip them, and
skippable, and
at least there's music to play over the second credits as well.
Like,
in
why
Epic
is it
Mickey, but
half an hour? Like
it's just names.
Like,
it's just names.
That's as long as like GTA 5's credits. I think Red Dead's they're like half an hour long, but that's a Rockstar game. That's like the biggest game ever made, which makes sense. And you can skip those at least. Yeah,
Sega really fumbled the bag with Sonic Colors Ultimate. Download Project Re-Rainbow to fix it all. But if you know, you know. But there you go.
I don't know. Well, there you go. That's what a great way to end our favorite.
I know.
Credit sequences. That's a good one.
I think
it looks fun. At least you can
breadth.
play Sonic, like
That's
run around
true.
as Sonic.
Well, I mean, maybe next time you come over, I'll sit you down. You can play the entire Sonic Colors Ultimate credit sequence, and you can see how you feel.
To date, all right, done. I'll be there in a heartbeat.
Oh no, okay.
Yes.
I don't. The thing is, I don't want to play that credit sequence, so I'm vetoing it myself. But yeah, 10 credit sequences in games. Yeah. I think you picked some really good ones.
I think you picked some really good ones too, Matt. Thank you for joining me on this little credit sequence journey today. I appreciate it. So thanks for listening to us talk about our favorite credit sequences. If you want to see another top 10, we have a video on our top 10 favorite clocks in video games, which is a great theme.
That was fun right there.
Yes.
And look, put your favorite credit sequences in the comments as well.
Let
I
us
want to
know
read every single one.
Yes, I'll read half of them, but let us know what your favorites are. Subscribe to Peanut Games Media for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Have a good week.